Hello, everyone. We are going to join a Harkness conversation, which is being held in our Harkness leadership class in March of 2021, and beginning a discussion of the poem Lines by Martha Collins, and really focusing on asking clarifying and probing questions.
All right, so to begin, does anyone want to read the poem over and center us back?
I can. Lines. Draw a line, write a line, there. Stay in line, hold the line, a glance. Between the lines is fine, but don't. Turn corners, cut, cross in, go over or out. Between 2 points of knot, returns a line of flight. Between 2 points of view is a line of vision. But a line of thought is rarely straight. An open line's no party line, however fine your point. A line of fire communicates, but drop your weapons and drop your line. Consider the shortest distance from X to Y. Let X be me, let Y be you.
I had a question about lines 11 and 12. A line of fire communicates, but drop your weapons and drop your line. It was like the whole drop your line sort of thing that I was like really confused on, because through the poem I sort of thought that it was like sort of about a discussion or a conversation. And like I get to my interpretation, I get a line of fire communicates, but drop your weapons. I just don't get the drop your line part. Like, it was really good.
Wait, so are you saying that the line of fire and the weapons, like a line of fire meaning weapons?
Yeah, sort of
And
like.
so just the drop your line seems out of the blue, or what?
Yeah, it just sort of seems like the line is like your point, or what you're trying to like discuss, or something like that. And a line of fire communicates like just like getting your point and saying your point, and that's it. But drop your weapons, so like open yourself up, be able to have a conversation, and drop your line. And I was like, I don't.
For me, I see it as, so stanza 12, and I think stanza 2, stay in line, hold the line. Especially that line. For me, I don't see it as I see it as like an expectation. Like the line represents something along the lines of you're supposed to do this and do that, and like this is everything that's expected of you. So you hold the line, and then in line 12 it says drop your line. So like brush off like other people's perceptions of you. And then in the last one it says, the last 2 lines, it says consider the shortest distance from X to Y, let X be me, let Y be you. So like drop your line and go wherever you want, kind of. Thanks for bringing in the other 2 lines. I was going to ask that too. What do other people think about when we think of lines 11 through 14 altogether?
I saw the connection between a line of fire. Is this? I think I'm thinking of the right phrase. Like a line of fire is like weapons. So a line of fire, and then drop your weapons. So that's what I was thinking. What they have to do with each other. I didn't know if that's what you were saying, Cassie. I think we're seeing it a little bit differently, but that's what I was thinking when line 11 said a line of fire.
How do you think these, like line 11 and 12, connect to line 13?
Well, what Ella was saying earlier about drop your weapons and drop your line, I think up at 2 when it says hold the line, I was thinking of like holding like form and holding like order, and then dropping the line would be like dropping the order that you were put into, kind of like stepping out of the box. And then 13 and 14, consider the shortest distance from X to Y is kind of going on your own path and going on your own route to X, from Y to X, or X to Y.
So just to be clear, just so we can get like a consensus, what I'm hearing you guys say is that the line represents expectations, order, a predetermined perception of what you're supposed to be, or like expectations for you, or like societal expectations. Are we all on the same page for that?
Kind of. I like really thought it was more about like a discussion, while I was reading it. Especially the lines 5 and 6, because we were talking about this earlier. Between 2 points of knot returns a line of flight. Between 2 points of views, a line of vision. And I feel like Maya, you had like a really good comment about this.
I think what I said was the 2 points of not return being like two people having an argument, disagreeing and not being able to see the other perspective. For like the 2 points of not return to line of flight. Flight being like fight or flight, just like leave it and no one really gets anything out of it. And then by the time we get to line 7, if we have 2 points of view and they're acknowledging that the other person has a different point of view than them, the line of vision, you can kind of come up with something concrete that's productive. And I've been thinking this whole time about how does that connect to like drop your weapons, drop your line. Does it mean that like drop your weapons and drop your line from like a between 2 points of not returns a line of flight, and then when you drop them and move on to the X and Y part, it moves to the 2 points of view, the line of vision?
Yeah, I'm really, like the last 4 lines are like kind of confusing me, especially with because I feel like drop your weapons might be like open your mind, and I feel like that can be seen in both sides of, or like both point of views of this poem.
Yeah.
But like, sort of just like open your mind to everybody else's point of view. I don't know what drop your mind means.
What I thought originally was order, now I can totally see how it would be like a conversation, just the, but what I originally thought was order was that, stay in line, it's line 2, stay in line, hold the line, a glance between the lines is fine, but don't turn corners, cross, cut in, go over or out. That just seems like very like structured. I was wondering what you thought about that, if that still could connect to, or anybody, just if that could still connect to the idea of a conversation or an argument, or if that brings another idea.
Okay, that could be sort of like draw a line, write a line, there. I feel like that was like preparing for discussion, or like your knowledge or your point, like making your point. And then the line 2 and 3 and 4, stay in line, hold the line, a glance between the lines is fine, but don't turn corners, cross, cut in, go over or out, is sort of like staying on the discussion point and like not going too hypothetical or going too out there, and just sort of staying on your point of the discussion.
So what I heard you say in the beginning was draw a line, write a line there in the first line. It's kind of like your discussion and your beliefs kind of going into a discussion, what do you say? Or going into a conversation?
Yeah, like just sort of getting your beliefs.
I also, like, bouncing off of what Cassie said, with like the first 4 lines, when people have conversations, they tend to like stay in their comfort zones and like try to like keep the conversation on like a good note. But relating to the later lines, like line 10 to 14, or like 11 to 14, once a conversation kind of gets out of hand, people tend to like drop it and stop talking about it. Like, I don't know, for like politics, for example, if you're ever talking politics with someone, you try to like, I don't know, like have your own thing and try not to change your mind about something.
On lines like 8 and 9, it says, but a line of thought is rarely straight. Do you think that could connect to your idea of staying like on the same like nice, easy topic, or?
But a line of thought is really straight. I think that with lines 7 and 8, what I kind of said to that is that 2 points of view is a line of vision. Everyone kind of like perceives this, no, everyone like sees the same thing, but a line of thought is rarely straight. Everyone perceives it differently, maybe. That's what I was gonna say.
For, just really quick, question, I'm just wondering what you guys interpret this as is, on line 9 and the beginning of line 10, it says, in open lines, no party line, however, find your point. How does that relate to the rest of the poem?
I just thought it was interesting how the author keeps on using like party line or line of fire, just the idea of lines in it. So like the party line, I was wondering, just a clarifying question, if the party line, like the phone line, like is it that? Or is it, I just was wondering.